Aprenda tener éxito. It was a phrase used by my Spanish teacher. To all the Spanish speakers in the audience, I'm sorry for butchering that. To all the English speakers in the audience, what I just said was you need to try to succeed. I'm sure you've all had people say these type of things to us before. Whether it be just keep trying, never give up, keep trying and you got it. But that isn't the truth. Sometimes, no matter how much you try, how much blood, sweat, and tears you put into something, it just won't work. It just won't click for you. I had to face this reality once. In 9th grade Spanish class, I read all the textbooks. I did so many flashcards. My dad was even a Spanish teacher, but for me, it would just never click. In this speech, I'll tell you how my failure in Spanish would affect my mental state, my emotional state, my sense of ethics, and what lessons I would learn in the long term from it. At the start of the year, the first thing to be greatly affected would be my mental state. Going into high school, I'd be very confident. After all, in middle school, I made all A's. I never really struggled with the class, and it always just clicked for me. But this was different. Spanish class was just destroying my confidence. It had been weeks by this point, and nothing was clicking with me. I thought everything in middle school was meaningless. Maybe it was all just a fluke. All my accomplishments, they meant nothing to me, and I feared for high school. I thought it was just going to be a downward spiral, and my grades and my confidence would just plummet as the years went by. But as the year kept going and Spanish class still wasn't clicking for me, the next thing to be affected would be my emotional state. I was so frustrated at this class because nothing was clicking for me, and I just felt so slow. And this frustration just kept getting added and added and added on. The first cause was this group of kids who they knew Spanish long time before they joined the class, but they were so smug. If you made a mistake or didn't know something, they made sure to make you feel like you were worthless and so stupid. And it had such a deep effect on me. I got so frustrated that I even went to my father for help because he taught Spanish for like 20 years. So of course I thought he could help me, but he just told me the same things my Spanish teacher told me. Try this. Oh, just keep trying at it. Oh, it's so easy if you just try this. But it wouldn't work for me. And every session I had with him, I would just get more and more frustrated. And one day I would just stop asking him for help. With the second semester coming closer and closer, and my frustration turning into just pure desperation, I would turn to a less ethical way of passing the class. In middle school, I wouldn't cheat because why would I? I never struggled, but Spanish would change things in me, and with all this struggle, I would cheat. I felt very guilty at it at first, but all my guilt was not strong enough to put down my desperation, and I would pass the class, but I only got the satisfaction of getting a grade that I know I didn't deserve, and it would just show how much of a failure I really was with me turning to it instead of actually trying even more. Looking back at now though, as a senior, what lessons did this failure teach me? Well, first it taught me how stupid cheating is and how stupidly lucky I got. My freshman year, for context, was in 2020-2021, and with COVID being COVID and causing a mess and so many people being online, Spanish exams were thankfully canceled, meaning since I cheated and had A's in the class now, I automatically passed. But realizing how lucky I got and realizing that I wouldn't have another opportunity like that, I would never cheat another class again, and it worked out for me. I would never fail another class, and I would keep trying. Also, it would teach me the true meaning of trying at something, because looking back on it, I was just a spoiled little kid who was a perfectionist and took things too seriously. I should have just been happy with trying my best, but I kept striving for perfection. And now as a senior, I realized that you shouldn't aim for perfection. You should aim for trying your best. And to sum up this year of failure, Spanish class would affect me mentally by destroying my ideas of perfection, ruin my emotional state with it turning to frustration. As for me though, my ethics would recover, and I've even tried learning Spanish with my girlfriend making me learn Duolingo.